Hey YouTube, this is Dean making another vid. If you like my content, please consider hitting the like button. Also, please consider subscribing, as it is very much appreciated. Okay, as everyone knows who's been watching my videos, I have got right into smithing, and I just wanted to show you, I've pretty much rounded out my smithing hammers now, and this is the bucket I keep my smithing hammers in, because I have a bucket that I take over to Andrew's place every time I go over there, and I've got all the hammers I need now for smithing, and I'm pretty proud of the hammers I've got. I enjoy getting old hammers, making them more useful for me, and then using them again. So I've bought a lot of vintage hammers and then got them to do using them, but I've also got a few newer hammers, and then I use them as well. But I probably could cut this down still, because I've got to the point now where I've got a heap inside that I don't use, so I've regulated them to non-use hammers, because I don't need to keep taking all my hammers over to Andrew's place, because Andrew's got his own, and he's probably got 50 hammers by himself as well. So yeah, but I like to use my own hammers, and as every smith does, I think, too. So anyway, I'll go through them and we'll go from there. This is the biggest one that I only just made. That's the double diagonal peen. It's a big striking hammer, for double-handed use. This is for drawing out. The diagonal is really different. If you look how it's hard to do, because the anvils. I'm not in the right position to show you, but yeah, these are designed for drawing out, and the double diagonals works really well for that. So yeah, if you notice, it's actually sitting the right way if you're there. But yeah, it's it looks strange and it does your head in, but yeah, it is a very useful idea to have the peen on a diagonal. So yeah, I'm actually going to take that over and leave it at Andrew's place, because I don't need to be carrying it around so much. Now I tend to use a lighter hammer rather than a heavier hammer, mainly because I developed tennis elbow, or blacksmith's elbow, and through poor technique and choking, so I tend to hold, it's called the death grip, so I tend to hold the hammer too hard, which put pressure on my elbow and swung it too hard, whereas I should have let the hammer do the work for it. So yeah, I'm teaching myself to do it properly, and I'm not getting that elbow problem anymore. So yeah, it's a lot better. But I do prefer a 2-pound hammer. I can swing that all day and not have a problem. So yeah, it's getting there. So yeah, it's just a matter of reteaching myself how to do it. 2 specialist hammers, wooden mallet. Andrew showed me the advantages of having a wooden mallet. This is for straightening. When you do twists, you need a wooden mallet, because you can't hit it with a normal hammer. Otherwise, you end up knocking the edges off all the twists. So use a wooden mallet. I haven't used it yet. I just saw a vintage wooden mallet and it was quite a cheap price, so I thought I'd get one, and yeah, fantastic. I like having one just just for the sake of having one. Same thing as this. This is a Thor A type head. This is a brass one. Again, this is for not marking your work. So soft hammer. These are replaceable. When you mash them up, you can replace that. Just knock these out. I think that I've never actually pulled them out. You can just knock them out and replace the brass head bits in it. My 3-pound Fiskars Isocore straight peen hammer. Fantastic. This is one of the best store-bought hammers that you'll ever get. Love this hammer. This is a fantastic hammer. Slightly radiusized the head. Andrew did that for me, and slightly radiusized the peen just to soften it up a little bit. This is a working hammer. Does a lot of work. Really, really good hammer. Fantastic. That's about the heaviest hammer that I use as a daily worker. This thing moves a lot of metal, and this is the one we use to for when I want to drop my touch marks in and that sort of thing. This is the one I do. Or if you want to move a lot of metal, use the peen on it. I only got this one a little while ago. It's a fantastic hammer. I wish I'd had this. So this is a Farrier's hammer. Double rounding hammer, short handle. I've fallen in love with this hammer. This is my hammer. This is the one I go to. I just simply love it. It's a fantastic hammer, and it works so well. It works brilliantly. Cut my finger. Yeah, it's unusual because it's got rounded face on both sides. Normally they have a straight face and then a rounding face. This one's got a double-faced rounding, so you can use it at either side. Just a fantastic. It's got a short handle on it, but that seems to work. I just have to get used to it. I really should have gone to my double straight and cross peen. Yeah, because I don't have a lot of the cross peens, I decided that I needed a hammer that had a peen on both sides, so that I could, because I tend to use engineer's ball peens, so I thought I'd get a double peen hammer, and I thickened this peen up so it's nice and thick, but I left this one as is. So yeah, because I tend to use a straight peen more often than I use the cross peen. So yeah, I thickened it up, but I left that one as it is. This one Andrew made for me. It's was a copy of a rounding hammer that he had, and I really liked it. My son Lawson's got it. He made it out of a jackhammer spike, but it was a fantastic one. And so I asked him if I actually wanted to make one with my other mate's press, but Andrew ended up making just as a test to see how it went, and yeah, he ended up making one, and he gave me that one. So yeah, it's a really nice, got a nice rounding hand, and just a fantastic hammer. Yeah, nice rounding hammer. And yeah, I don't use a rounding hammer that often, but when I do need it, I quite often, this is the one I grab, and it's also got a nice long there, so you can actually get into your work a bit lot, and I really like it. So yeah, fantastic. Then I get onto, I shouldn't have done my other one. This is my 2-pound Gilpin. I don't use it that often, but I've kept it in my bucket. But when I do need it, I grab it and I go for it. I converted it over to the straight peen. It's got a really nice peen on it. It's just a really nice Gilpin, and the 2-pound weight is about exactly what I need for a hammer, and it's just a really nice hammer. This is the one hammer I go for if I need that 2-pound hammer with the straight peen. This is my working hammer. This is the one that I've used all the time. Engineers ball peen, 1.1 kilos. If I'm not using my Farrier's hammer, I'm using this one. These are my two working hammers. This is the two hammers I work between. This is what I do my work with. If I'm not using that one, I'm using this one for most of my work. This is what I do my work with. I love this hammer. It's just a fantastic hammer. I get a lot of work done with it. It's a big engineer's hammer. Yeah, a little bit over a kilo. She does a lot of work, and she's really nice. Really, it's a hard hammer. It marks the anvil up a little bit, but yeah, just a fantastic head. It just works really well and suits me really well. Fantastic hammer. That is one of my favourite hammers. Apart from that one, those two are my really good working hammers. A cobbler's hammer. I saw Andrew's hammer. He's got a full range of these cobbler's hammers. Really like them. I saw it and I fell in love with them. I don't use it as often as I should, but every so often when I need it, I just grab it, and yeah, they are not just for working for shoes. Yeah, they are fantastic. I do need to re-handle it because down here is starting to get a little bit. Yeah, need to hang it because it's starting to get all chipped out and that. But yeah, it's still got a lot of work in it. It's a beautiful little hammer. Yeah, fantastic. It's right in that perfect range. Nice wide face. I've rounded it off, smoothed it up, cleaned it up. Yeah, beautiful hammer. Fantastic. Now I'm getting into my lightweight ones. If I'm not using that one or that one, this is my favourite hammer. Between those two, those two are my working hammers. This one is for everything else. Those two there for major work. This is for finishing work. This is my Stanley 1.25 pound. A beautiful old hammer. The handle is just fantastic. It fits my hand. It just works really well. It's a nice light hammer. I can swing it all day, every day. Just doesn't hurt my elbow at all. I love it. It's yeah, just a beautiful old hammer, and it's a fantastic hammer. It just works really well. Then I get into my three others. That was a light rounding hammer. It's an 11 ounce. It works really well. It's I don't use it that often now. This one basically superseded it. Now that I've got this, I basically don't use that one. I keep it in the bucket, but I'm probably going to take it out. Now that I've got this, I don't need that one anymore. Then I got my last two. This is a Gilpin 1 pound. This is for the light work. If I need a slightly smaller hammer just to do light work with, I go, if I find this one's just a little bit too heavy, I go to that Gilpin. It's just a fantastic little hammer. It's just, sometimes you just need a slightly smaller hammer, and that one is just slightly too big, and you go into that one, and it's just the perfect small hammer. It's a fantastic little Gilpin. And my lock, 10-ounce lock. If I needed only one small hammer, this is it. It's a lock number 1. It is my finishing hammer. It does everything, all my small work, all my finishing work, my planishing. Yeah, it's just a fantastic little hammer. Just a tiny little, it's just a fantastic little hammer. I don't know what it is about it. I can't, and I say that about all of them. There's just something about them. I can't really point to why I like them. They suit me, and when I pick it up, I can just do work with it, and it's just a fantastic little hammer. Those ones there are my working hammers. Like, I can do just about anything I need to do basically in my forging. I can just about get everything done, apart from some peen work, which I would add my Gilpin, because it's got the straight peen, because that pretty much, I don't use peens that often as far as it goes, but that pretty much covers any peen work that I need. I can use the Gilpin, and all the other stuff, all the other work that I do, I pretty much go with those hammers there. And that's my hammers for forging. I pretty much don't need any hammers now that I buy, are just for the love of hammers. And I have to say, Andrew has he's sparked an interest in it. But I think once you get into blacksmithing, that's just a thing I think you do develop is a love for the tools. I know I did anyway. But I do tend to want to collect things too. So yeah, I know I just enjoy the collecting side of things, and like, I've got hammers here too, but those are just rubbish as far as I'm concerned, because they're only just for smashing rocks. I would never smash rocks with those ones. My working hammers for my forge, because yeah, that's not for them, because it'd just ruin them, like that's what a thing. But yeah, I have to admit, I've developed a very big passion for collecting hammers now as well. But you can go down the rabbit hole too, but because as soon as you start, like, you can start collecting Gilpins, which is just an English brand of hammers, and they don't make them anymore. So, and you try buying ones from over in England, and the postage alone kills you. So but same as Lock, that's another English brand, or Stanley, and it's just, how many hammers do you need? Well, how many rocks does a man need too? So it's, how many strikers does a man need? But anyway. But yeah, I thought I'd show you that. I hope that's interesting. That's just my forging hammers. Anyway, before I start rattling on, thanks for watching.